He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
By the way,
He's
we do not own rights to that.
He's back. Yet we do not own the copyrights to that whatsoever. But I had to make the awesome Bray Wyatt entrance there, so I got to say I'm here. There you go. That awesome Bray Wyatt entrance. There you go. I just didn't have a mask, so I'd use my hoodie. But anyways, welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. You're watching another breakdown of Extreme Rules. You know, we had Extreme Rules yesterday. Before we get into that breakdown of Extreme Rules, let me introduce to you the group that I have with me tonight. We're going to go ahead and start out with none other than, that's right, my partner in crime. If I was Bray, that would be Bo Dallas. We have none other than Mr. Mess Around Dave. How you doing tonight, my man?
I am great. I'm excited to be here. It's been over a month since I've been able to talk wrestling because of sickness and just being burnt out and whatnot. But I'm glad to be back.
Absolutely. All right. And then, of course, he's here. We have Mr. Crispy Bacon. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Extreme Rules was pretty good last night.
Oh yeah, man. I loved it. It was great last night. All right. That's right, Tom. How's it going tonight, Thomas Burnett? That's right. You got to sing it with us. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Absolutely. And then, of course, welcome in Christy Wilson. How are you doing tonight? Christy? Are you on mute?
You good?
You're on mute.
You must be on mute. We can't hear you.
Yeah, you must be on mute. I can't hear you.
No mute?
Yeah, I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on there. All right.
Try logging off and then hop back on.
Yeah. So let's just go on. So even Thomas Burnett is singing He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. How can you not? After last night, I'll tell you what, that was freaking phenomenal last night. But we're going to save that for the very ending because we have to start with the entire breakdown, going from the very beginning, going through everything. And so first off, you know, we have that opening match here. So Mess Around, if you want to introduce the opening match for us.
I don't remember what it was. What was the opening match?
It was.
Okay.
I don't have the card in front of me.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'll pull it up real quick.
No, it's fine. So if you remember the opening match.
Oh, it was a brawl match, wasn't it?
Huh?
Yeah.
The Brawling Brutes and
it was the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium. It was the 6-man tag. It was the Donnybrook match or
Donnybrook match.
So, you know, to me, it started off with a bang, and I'll tell you again, Imperium, the Brawling Brutes put on another fantastic show. It was an absolutely fantastic match again. Anytime you put the likes of like Sheamus and Gunther in the same ring, they're going to absolutely put on a show. But this kind of shows you.
I'm back. Sorry. Mic issues.
You're good. So with the Imperium, Mess Around, I'll go with you. The Imperium and the Brawling Brutes. Obviously, at the end, you know, we saw that the Brawling Brutes picked up the victory. So to me, it was a little shocking. I thought that Imperium was going to get the victory, but they did it the right way. And what I mean by doing it the right way was they did protect Gunther. So he's not the one who got pinned. So, Mess Around, I'll start with you. What was your thoughts on Imperium versus Brawling Brutes?
They did this same match like a month ago with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, right?
I think they might have, but it didn't involve bars and whiskey barrels.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Yeah, but it was just
one-on-one.
Yeah, it was Sheamus and McIntyre.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought this match was better than that one. That one was good too. But when you put the Brutes and the Imperium together, it was a banger from start to finish. I mean, there's so much going on, you could hardly keep up with it all.
Mhm.
And then Sheamus hit every move in the book to try to put Gunther down and couldn't do it. And then they got him at the end. And
Yeah.
I didn't think that the Brutes were going to win. I thought they were going to make the Imperium look strong. I thought Imperium was going to come out on top, but good for Sheamus. I mean, that guy deserves to be where he's at, and he deserves more. He should be a champion sometime soon.
Mhm.
And hopefully he'll take it off Gunther soon.
God,
But I
hope
think
so.
they're going to drag it on for a while and make it, maybe a Survivor Series he gets it off him, or they run the match back again and they have a Survivor Series style format
Yeah.
elimination thing.
Yeah, and Thomas Burnett is saying I can watch those 6 fight every week. I absolutely could.
Me
I could
too.
absolutely watch all 6 of them fight every week. And he also saying Hunter's a smart booker. He's not going to hurt Gunther. Absolutely. Like the immense,
Those two were tied.
like it's crazy how much better it's gotten since Hunter has taken over. Hunter is like an
so
absolutely brilliant booker, and he's not going to injure. Like he's not going to make Gunther look bad.
Mm-mm.
I feel like he's going to make the smart decision. So,
Yep.
Crispy Bacon, what was your thoughts on it and Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes?
Oh no, it was a good match. I mean, you had the barricade knocked over early on, the table, destroyed. Everybody's destroyed. It was a good match overall. Yeah. You got to see the White Rabbit teased in this match.
Yeah.
So.
And Thomas Burnett, I do agree with you on that. He's saying the end game has to be Sheamus winning the Intercontinental title. I think in the end that's probably what it's going to be, because we know that that's the only title that Sheamus has not won.
Yeah.
So I do feel that is going to be the end game. So Christy, Brawling Brutes, Imperium.
It was definitely a tie for me for match of the night. It was so good. I mean, carnage, chaos, you name it, is everywhere. That whole match, I mean, holy cow. So good.
I think all of these matches were good just because they're extreme matches.
Yeah, they were.
Matches.
There's the stipulation attached to, I think, every one of them, I think.
There was.
Yeah.
And which to me, you kind of have to, because it's called Extreme Rules. So, and I know that in the past, the problem with Extreme Rules is typically we had like one Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules.
Yep.
And so it's like, okay, well that's not really Extreme Rules then if you have one Extreme Rules match. So this was the right way by actually making by putting a certain rules in like every single match. So now if you kind of want to give your little grade report on match 1 here, so mess around your overall grade, like you're grading in a grade system in school. What do you give this match?
I give it an A+. I thought it was that good from start to finish. I mean, there's so much going on. Like I said, A+ for me.
All right. So then for all of you viewers out there too, if you want to drop your grades in the comment section of the first match of Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes, that would be great. And then Crispy Bacon, what was your final grade in the Imperium and Brawling Brutes?
Yeah, I give it an A+. I thought it was a really good match to start it off, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah. Christy, how about you?
Definitely A+. Did not disappoint. Kept me on the edge of my seat. It was really, really good.
Yeah, it was, and I agree with you guys. I would say A+ on this too. And even Thomas Burnett is saying A+++++++, because that's how good of a match it was. Definitely. So that was really good. So moving on to our next match of the night, which was actually the women's ladder match. Mm-hmm. We had Bianca Belair versus Bayley, which in the end, again, I guess I was wrong with this one again, because I like the first 2 matches I missed, because I seriously thought that Bayley was going to win the belt. I did. And,
Bayley.
I guess that to me is what made this pay-per-view so good, is that this pay-per-view was not like you had no idea basically who was going to win almost any of the matches, because I seriously did not know that Bianca was going to win. I thought that Bailey was going to win the belt.
I think a lot of people thought Bailey was going to win.
Overall,
I think I did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us did, and you know what, Thomas, I'm not sure the whole order, but we're just kind of talking about the matches. So if I mess up the order, that's my fault. I don't have the match card in front of me.
He's right. I got the match card.
Okay.
Huh?
He's right. I got the match card. The Rousey Ronda or Liv Morgan match was second.
All right. Well, we can talk about that one next. Anyways, it's fine.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, we'll just talk about the ladder match here. Overall, I thought that the ladder match was good. I think Bianca and Bailey work well together. Whether this is going to be the end of it, I don't know. I'm still kind of hit or miss on whether or not Bianca and Bailey are going to wrestle one more match. This was a ladder match, so you kind of feel maybe this might be it, and then Bailey might move on to something else.
Maybe.
Because I don't know if everybody saw, but Charlotte Flair's supposed to be returning pretty soon, and
yeah, but it looks like she's been dealing with some personal issues lately, and that's why she hasn't been back. And Andrade talked about it in an interview.
Yeah, and she said that when she comes back, she's saying that Bianca's title's looking pretty good. So
we'll see what happens.
Triple threat match.
So whether Bailey and Bianca are gonna go again, it's gonna be wait and find out. Overall, though, the match was good. There were some good spots in this match. Mess around. How about you?
Well, yeah, I was with you. I thought Bailey was gonna win because she had damage control on her side, and Asuka and Alexa were both out with injuries on. They got hurt on Raw or whatever. They took them out of Raw, and so Bianca didn't have the backup. And I thought the damage control was gonna get involved, and they did. And then Belair put them both up and slammed them down, gave them the KOD.
Double KOD.
So that was cool. And then
it was cool.
Yeah, it was a really good match. So I really don't think they're done because this is the first one-on-one match they've had. They usually run it like 2 or 3 times before they call it done.
Usually.
So I think they're going to run it back at least one more time.
Well, they had a one-on-one match at Hell in a Cell a few years ago, or before Bailey.
I'm just talking about recently, though.
Yeah, we're talking about recently, though.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah, like we're talking about like right now because Bailey just returned from injury. She was supposed to get a title match before she tore her ACL.
Yeah.
So that's why they put her. That's why they put her back in the match now. Overall, though, they made Bianca look really strong in this match, and the only reason is because Bianca didn't really have help, and so she had to basically fight off damage control at that point. So they made her look strong. Crispy, your overall thoughts on the match?
No, overall it was a good match. I thought it was cool being the first women's title match either on SmackDown or Raw. As far as the ladder match goes, I just think it would have been better if damage control wasn't out there. I mean, you kind of figured it was going to happen, but I think it would have been a better match if it was a true one-on-one match.
That's fine. And Christy, how about you?
This was actually probably out of the 2 women's matches that were on Extreme Rules. This was definitely my favorite. One, it was a ladder match, so that was pretty extreme in itself. Yeah, I was anticipating Io and Dakota were going to come in, but Bianca hitting them both with a KOD at the double KOD. I was like, God damn. But I'm glad Bianca retained it. It was just overall a really good match. I wish it had gone on just a little bit longer, but that's okay.
So Amy saying that she loves that the EST won, and then Thomas Burnett is also saying that he liked the match too.
Yeah.
So, and overall, we can kind of give that overall grade now. Mess around your grade for Bianca and Bailey.
I'm gonna give it an A- only because I thought Bailey should have won.
All right, Crispy.
Excuse me.
I think this was the only match so far that I've missed, but I think if damage control wasn't out there, I'd give it an A, but I'll give it a B.
All right, Christy.
I'm gonna go A minus. Io and Dakota should have stayed out of it, and the match should have gone maybe another 4 or 5 minutes longer. But that's just me.
And I'm gonna agree with Thomas on this one, and I'm gonna say I'm just gonna go with a flat out A. It wasn't
That
as good as the 6-man tag, but it was still an overall good match. You don't see a lot of ladder matches on the women's side for
No.
so
I don't know why though.
I was definitely glad we got to see that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Thomas, for dropping your grades in there. Okay, the next one is we have Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey.
Mhm.
You saw that Ronda Rousey ended up winning the title off of Liv Morgan. I think a lot of us saw that coming.
Yeah,
A lot of us
unfortunately.
did. I don't think we knew that Liv Morgan was not going to continue to retain the title.
My
even
girl took a nap.
Yeah, she ended up taking it up. They tried
Yeah.
several times to make her title run look strong. It just wasn't working though.
Yeah.
I know they had her beat Shayna clean, and I think the thing that killed her title run the most was just the way that she beat Ronda. I think that's kind of what killed
The
her. Title.
SummerSlam match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where
Yeah.
she tapped, but the official didn't.
Yeah, she tapped and the ref counted 3. I think that was the big thing about it overall. I'm just glad that this was definitely an Extreme Rules match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it was because look, me personally, I get that Ronda is a draw. I get it, but I'm not that big of a fan of Ronda. And people may hate me for saying this or not. I'm sorry. I'm just not that big of a fan of Ronda's. I'm just not. I wasn't her first time around, and I'm not this time. Just something about Ronda. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a big fan, and I don't know if I ever will be. Am I mad that she beat Liv? I mean, not really. When you look at it either way, it really didn't matter to me which way it went. Like, do I have a problem with Liv? No, I don't have a problem with Liv. I just don't think that this title run was going as well as people were hoping it would, to be perfectly honest. And so, but what's interesting about that, though, is if you guys remember, people wanted Liv to win it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then she won it,
Yep.
and then people turned on her.
Yep.
And that's what happens. In the IWC world, that's what happens. In the internet world community, people want something, they get it, and then they turn on that person. And that's exactly
that's
and
really
that's
one of the worst things about the internet wrestling community is they want it, but then they can turn on the person on a dime, like within 5 seconds. And that's.
I mean, there was some good spots in this match. The ending of it was interesting to me. By looking at the ending, it kind of makes you feel like maybe there's going to be a character change for Liv because of how she was smiling and stuff at the end. She was getting choked out, which makes me feel like some kind of character's change is coming. I don't know what.
So because at the end, when in a backstage segment, the interviewer was going to interview Liv, and Liv looked like a little kid in the corner, kind of hugging herself a little bit. She looked like she was going to start crying. She wasn't smiling at that moment. So clearly something's happening that could lead to a character change.
Yeah, and that's why I'll get to my prediction, at the very end with where I think it's going with Liv.
Right.
But Thomas is saying Hunter tried his best with Liv. Absolutely, he did.
I absolutely agree with that.
And Thomas is saying if Ronda were to leave after WrestleMania, I wouldn't cry. I'm right there with you, Tom.
I'd be like,
all right.
See you later. What?
This round, Dave, how about you? What's your thoughts on the Ronda and Liv match?
Well, Liv's my girl, but I knew that she was going to lose this match. There's no way you can have her win. I mean, like you said, Hunter tried. Like Thomas said, Hunter tried his best, and he did the best he could. I mean, like Vince pretty much killed it when he had Ronda dominate her in that match, even though Liv came out on top.
Yeah, the SummerSlam
He made
match.
her look so weak in that match that like she wasn't the champ after that.
Yeah.
So there's only so long that you could ride her as champ. So, and they did her a solid favor by not making her tap out, making her pass out, made her still look strong, even though she she's still kind of, everybody sees her as being weak and not very good as a wrestler and whatnot. I mean, most fans, not all, not me,
Right.
obviously, but great way to end it. Give her that thing. She smiled. She went like she was gonna go crazy, and we'll save that for later. But yeah, overall, we'll give the grades here in a minute. But yeah, somebody else can go.
Well, they kind of did her favor anyways by letting her beat Ronda the second time again, and then letting her beat Shayna. So they kind of did her favor by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crispy, how about you?
No, it was a good match. I like those Extreme Rules matches. She brought out a baseball bat, and although it was used against her, she did have her turn with it for Ronda, and I think she was just happy overall to get a title, to get the title she's been working for. Now maybe she'll get it back one day, but
I
don't
so.
think she's ready right now.
I don't think she'll get it back for a while. I think they're building up to Shayna versus Ronda. I think that's what they're building up for, and I'm looking forward to that. I really am. Christy, how about you?
It was not a bad match. Didn't like the outcome. I used to be a Ronda fan, but I stopped liking her once WrestleMania 35 came along and she and Becky Lynch were feuding online and everything. And I just lost a lot of respect for Ronda. But I agree with the one comment that Triple H did the best he could with Liv, and maybe it was time for her to lose that title. I wasn't ready for her to lose it, but that's just the way things go, I guess.
It's Liv.
I felt so bad for her, though. I mean, worked so hard to get the chance to be a champion. She gets it, and she made the best of a bad situation, really.
All right, so now we can give our overall grades of this match. Mess around.
I'll give it a solid B. One other thing I wanted to add is Liv didn't do herself any favors in that match. The way she was going for the cover, she rolled up her legs and put her arm through, set herself up for the armbar. So,
right.
So that was kind of funny. Every time she went for the pin, she did that. And, I'd give it a solid B.
All right, Crispy.
I give it an A minus.
Wow, you're sticking with the A minus, okay? Christy.
B.
I'm gonna go with a B minus, and that's only because I'm just not a Ronda fan, and so it's just I don't know.
I don't know.
That's really the only reason I am, is because I'm just not a Ronda fan. And and Thomas saying B, but he's also saying it was almost a C because of Liv's eyelash falling.
I saw that, and I was like, funny. Oh my god, she was wearing false lashes. Like, is the glue wearing off on that? What the heck's going on here? She's almost losing her eyelashes there.
That was fun.
I know. Right, I was like, she's losing her eyelashes there. My god.
Mess around. You said you have the match card in front of you.
I do. The next one was the strap match with Karrion Kross. Drew McIntyre.
Karrion Kross. So I kind of laughed at the very beginning because Kross is playing some mind games.
He's like, no, I don't want to stick the strap.
Being like, yep, I'm not putting this strap around my wrist. I thought that was funny. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting this around my. I laughed. That was great. Strap matches, they're always interesting because that somebody's getting the strap across the back.
Oh yeah.
And
taken to the woodshed, as JR used to say.
See, and this is the funny thing though too. Like, think back to wrestling, like back in the old days, right? How long has it been going on for heels that generally heels get help to win? And so it's weird. It's gone on for like a very, very long time. And when heels still get help to win now, people go, this is bull crap. They get help to win. And I'm like, they're freaking heels. That's what they're supposed to do. That's
what you expect them to do.
You have your faces and you have your heels. As a heel, that's what your character does. Like, you're supposed to help. Yeah. You're supposed to get help to win
Right,
matches.
like the great Eddie Guerrero said it best: lie, cheat, steal, whatever
Exactly.
you have to win.
That's the point of a heel. And if you
Yeah.
hate the heel, they're doing their job.
Exactly.
They're doing
If
their
you ain't
job if
cheat-
you hate the heel.
Yeah. There's certain
If you ain't
heels I
cheating, you
hate,
ain't
but they are
trying.
doing their jobs.
If you ain't
Exactly.
cheating, you're not trying.
Yep, exactly.
If you're not
Exactly.
cheating, you're not trying.
Exactly.
Steal. Exactly, right?
God
It's
bless Eddie
great.
Guerrero.
But that's really the only thing that I was saying about it, because when Scarlett, intervened in this
Pepper spray.
match and
Which
and
I knew
used
she was going to do.
and used pepper spray on Drew, and people were like, we're like, this is bull crap, and I was like, you know what? That's what she's supposed to do.
It
She's
was
doing
great.
her job.
Yes.
She's doing her job because Cross is a heel.
And J-Mac, I haven't watched the show Heels, but I heard it's really good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, and I definitely want to check it out. And Thomas Burnett saying fans nowadays would have hated the Horsemen back in the 80s. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Fans nowadays would have hated a lot of things that they did in the 80s or 90s,
Oh, yeah.
because
They
they can't
would've-
stand it now. And it's like they did the same things back then that they do now, and people go, why can't we go back to then? Oh, really? You want to go back to then?
Do you
Because
really
they
think
did
you
the
would have
same
liked
exact
seeing,
stuff.
I don't know, Dusty Rhodes and Polka Dots way back now as opposed to the
Exactly.
East? No, you would not have.
So nothing
Well,
has
I
really
did for a little
changed.
bit.
Wanted to see. Huh?
I did for a little
Overall,
bit. No.
Yeah, pretty much.
overall, though, it was a good match. So, mess around. Your thoughts on the strap match?
I'm glad my guy Karrion Cross won, because everybody knows I've been a Karrion Cross guy forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I want to see him get a big run, and I'm sure he's going to get it because he's the NXT guy. He's one of Hunter's guys.
Mm-hmm.
Great match. Great way to end it with pepper spray. It keeps Drew looking strong, or whatever you want to say. I can't stand Drew McIntyre, by the way. Hate Drew McIntyre. But I'm glad Cross won. Clean, dirty, whatever it was, he won. That's all that
Lying,
matters.
cheating, stealing.
Right. So, J Mac, I'm looking at your comment now, and he's saying NWO is the greatest heel story of all time. So there's the NWO, but to me, it goes either NWO, and then you can also add DX to it too, because DX when they were heel,
You
they
ain't
were
down with
freaking,
that. We got two words for ya.
So
Which,
NWO,
by the way, will be on Monday Night Raw tomorrow.
Be 25th anniversary Generation
but
DX.
NWO though, the one thing that kind of what puts NWO a little bit ahead of DX is simply because of how much heat NWO had. NWO had gotten so much freaking heat. Like, that's why they were one of the greatest heel stories ever, because of how much heat NWO always had.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they made WCW's ratings. Like, they absolutely made their ratings of what they were.
It's like you couldn't watch an
they're the
episode of
only
like
reason-
WCW Monday Nitro without seeing NWO.
They're the only reason there was a Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, that was part of it.
Absolutely.
It was so good.
Right. Crispy, your thoughts on the strap match?
No, it's good. Strap matches are good. We don't see them a lot, but this was entertaining. I kind of figured Cross was going to win it, even if Scarlett was out there or not. But I thought it was an entertaining match.
All right, Christy.
Oh, it was a cool match, and I'm glad Cross won. I think he's going to get a huge push, and Scarlett helping him out while looking like a dominatrix definitely helped out a lot. Oh, yeah. And that pepper spray didn't hurt either, so.
All right.
I don't think I was picturing is like mess arounds watching, and he's like,
nope, you're
staring at
good.
Scarlett and looking like a dominatrix.
All right, mess around.
I'm sorry.
No,
I will give it an A. I thought it was a great movie. Scarlett's one of the reasons why it's an A. Honestly.
All right. Anytime he can see that, it makes him happy.
Exactly.
All right.
Right.
Crispy.
We'll go A. It was a good match. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Oh, God.
What'd you say?
A.
A. Christy.
A. I enjoyed it a lot.
Thomas agrees. He gives an A too.
Thomas is agree. He's saying A2. And Thomas saying, I don't remember Sean Hunter and China cheating too much in the early days of DX. I mean, China interfered a lot for Hunter, but I don't think so much for Sean. But yeah, but that's why NWO always got that heel heat. That's why they were always there, because they always did the dirty stuff to win.
Oh yeah, they did.
So that's definitely why that heel heat for NWO was there. All right, mess around. Go ahead and bring up that next one for us.
All right, the next match we have is the I Quit match with Finn Balor defeated Edge.
Oh God.
And I'll tell you what. You want to talk about some freaking heel heat right now? The Judgment Day definitely has some heel heat right now. They like the Judgment Day. If they did not have heel heat before, they definitely have heel heat now.
Yes.
Especially after this one.
Oh, especially. We'll get into it later.
You can clearly see that they're setting up for a Rhea versus Beth match.
Yes, exactly. Especially after a certain part of the match that will.
Yeah.
Unless they do like a mixed tag match with Edge and Beth, and then Finn and Rhea.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Though they might do, even though they might have Dominic versus Rhea, because she's always been whispering in his sweet nothings in his ear. I don't know.
She made him a man, remember?
Yeah, I know.
Poppy knows. Poppy knows. Overall, though,
Poppy knows, mommy knows. I don't know.
Overall, the Edge and Finn match was good. I liked that they kind of went everywhere. You know, they went in the crowd. They came back in the ring.
Everywhere. I was like, where's this match going to? The concession stands?
We can.
It kind of felt like it was going to head that way.
Right?
I did hear, Thomas, they are thinking about bringing War Games back, which would be freaking awesome.
War Games!
Yeah, I think it's going to bring it back in the Survivor Series.
Yeah, I've heard that. Probably do 2 War Games type matches for the guys and the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they've been talking about.
Yeah, they want to change up Survivor Series and make it more interesting instead of it being the way it's been for the past few years, which it's gotten boring.
Yep.
And
5-on-5 matches, champion versus champion. It's time to change it up.
And I'll tell you what, though.
They can still keep 5-on-5, but make it.
Yeah, that's true. You can do that.
I'll tell you, the interesting thing about this one was, I like how they did the ending on how they made Edge say I quit, because I'll tell you, they still made Edge look strong by doing that, because he did not say I quit because of the amount of punishment he took.
Right.
What made him look strong.
Screw you, Finn.
Yeah.
Screw you, Rhea.
It was, they're about to take out my wife, so now I'm going to say I quit. So that is probably the better way of doing it. So that's your thoughts in this I Quit match.
What a great match. What a great story being told in and outside the ring, where, like you said, they went everywhere. My favorite part was when Dominic put his hands on Ray, finally threw him around, beat him up. That was cool.
Yeah.
So maybe now we'll get the Ray versus Dominic thing, even though Ray says he never wants to have a one-on-one match with his son. But I think that's the way it's going to go. I mean, he's finally going to say, all right, you need to get your ass whooped, and I'm going to be the one to do it.
Did you hear Michael Cole was going off on Dominic being of his own father and everything? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, he was.
Calm down, Michael Cole. Holy crap.
He was animated.
Oh, he's so animated. I was loving because he's been held back for so long. It's just good to see Michael Cole just let loose as the play-by-play guy. I love it.
So Thomas saying Edge could have said I quit by submission and he'd be just fine.
I don't know about that.
He would, because of who he is and what his career's been.
Iffy.
I don't think it would have hurt him to say I quit due to submission. So I think Thomas is right there.
Yeah, I just think that the way they did it gave them a massive amount of the heel heat that
was the right way to go, really.
It was definitely the right way, because the Judgment Day needs that heel heat, and they finally got it. I just thought it was funny with Finn when Finn's like, okay, I'm giving you one more chance Nope, I won't do it. All right, Edge. This is it. This is your last chance.
Just
Do
kidding.
this now. Say it. What? I quit. What'd you say?
Go
What'd
to
you say?
hell.
He's right. He's right. Too
What'd you
bad.
say? Can you say it again?
Go to hell.
Right.
No, well, we haven't.
I did
Go to
Finn's
hell.
face just goes. I go, what did you say? That's not what I
And
wanted to
so
hear.
Thomas saying it helped Judgment Day get over majorly. It did, because for the longest time, people were saying, Judgment Day isn't hitting yet, blah blah. But now, I think they're kind of getting over now.
Mm-hmm.
And no, Will, we have not got to the major news yet. So
Not yet.
now with that, we can kind of give our final grades on this I Quit match. So mess around.
A+ all the way. A+.
All right, Chris,
A+.
Christy.
A+. It was wild. It was crazy. It was awesome.
I'll go with
We're
it too.
getting,
Yeah.
we're getting close to the big reveal. So
Yeah, we are getting
Yes,
close.
we are getting close to it. Yes, we're getting
One
close.
more
To it.
match before the big reveal.
All right, mess around. Lead us into that next match.
So the final match, probably,
Fight Pit.
I want to say one of the matches at night. Matt Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins in the Fight Pit match, with Riddle coming out on top with a submission victory.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that shocked me just a little bit. I seriously did. But somebody asked a really valid question on Facebook the other day, and when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? That's a good question. Even though Seth Rollins lost this match, they're like, think back this whole entire year of matches that Seth has had, and they're like, has there been one bad Seth Rollins match this year? And I'm like,
yeah.
no,
Nope, not at all.
no, there has not been. That dude has been on a whole nother level this whole entire year. Seth Rollins has been freaking on fire. Regardless if he's winning or losing, the dude has been on a whole nother level. And this match was right there with it. It doesn't matter what character you give Rollins, he runs with it. And he does it so well.
If I had to say wrestler of the year, he's it.
Oh yeah, it's got to be. I mean, he put Cody over, and then once, and then he started winning matches, and I'm like, dude, Seth, man, it's
Oh my God.
hell of a year. So I definitely agree with Thomas on that. Seth has had a hell of a year, absolutely. It's definitely. And now Sammy's kind of getting that little bit of a build up now too. So that's kind of been nice too.
Yeah, I was
but
going to mention Sammy too, but you got to give Seth wrestler there.
Yeah.
But mess around. I'll go with you. What was your thoughts in this Fight Pit match?
I love the match. I didn't see it ending the way it did. I did not see it. I thought Riddle would win because Seth won the previous couple or whatever, and
won a Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, so I thought that Riddle would win. I just didn't see him winning by tap out. But I thought it was funny when he hit the curb stop up top on the top of the Fight Pit there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was like, count him. Cormier's like, I can't. He's got to be down here, bro.
Yeah. And then Rollins is like, count him or I'll come down there and choke you out.
Oh God. It's like, do you really want to do that to
But
Daniel
the
Cormier?
one thing
He'll
I
hurt
did
you.
not know that they mentioned during the broadcast is that they were saying how Cormier has never beat John Jones in a match in the UFC.
Yeah.
But Riddle has beaten John Jones twice in high school in wrestling matches.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I looked it up just to check because I
Oh.
wasn't sure if it was true, and it's true.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
knew
nice in high
John
school.
Bones Jones and Daniel Cormier had a hell of a rivalry in UFC. I mean, they literally do not like each other. But
So,
I didn't know
Messer,
Matt Riddle went up against John Jones in wrestling. I didn't know that.
you mentioned
That's
how
wild.
you were surprised that Riddle beat Rollins by submission.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the Fight Pit match, you can only win by getting counted to 10 or tapping out.
Or a knock.
Right, but I just
knockout.
figured that he would hit him with like 2 or 3 RKOs, and then Seth would get counted out. I didn't see the submission thing coming.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it was still kind of it was a
It's
cool
almost
ending.
like it's almost like a
Hey,
gift.
that floating bro he hit off the top though, it
Oh,
looked like he
insane.
hurt his like he broke his butt when he fell. Like
Right? That was
He's like, I broke my ass.
yeah, that was. I gave him
That's
props
crazy.
on that, man, because that's quite a height there. Like that's that. So you're definitely taking a risk there.
Yeah.
All right,
Scary.
Chris, what was your thoughts on the fight pit match?
It was probably my match of the night. Riddle is 2-0 in the fight pit. He did have a match in NXT that involved a fight pit, also with his special guest referee. So he's 2-0. Kind of figured he'd probably go 2-0. But I mean, Seth did great. He did what he needed to, I think.
Honestly, when they first announced the fight pit match, I actually had to go on there and kind of look it up because
I did too.
I honestly I was like, what is the fight pit match? Because they've only done it one other time.
NXT,
So
and
I
Riddle
was
was
like,
in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the heck is the fight
Dude.
pit? So I had to go look it up.
to be honest, though, Seth dominated that whole match. The majority of the match was dominated by Seth.
He did.
And they said that Riddle thought of this idea himself, this whole concept.
Yeah, and Thomas is saying if Seth didn't suffer a rib injury, then he has a very strong core. Absolutely, because
Right.
that was like a dead-on freaking landed right on his core, and I was like,
I
dude,
know.
that had to hurt like hell.
That man is an intense. That man is a huge CrossFit fanatic, and he does all the CrossFit stuff all the time. So he's really.
And when Riddle got him in that chokehold, Seth did everything he could to get out. Slammed him in the cage, slammed him on the ground.
Exactly. He's like, let me go.
All right, Christy, your thoughts on the fight pit?
Definitely my match of the night because it was just really wild to see how this whole thing came together and just seeing these guys go at it. And I'll definitely give credit to Daniel Cormier for he did a great job as a special guest referee. He called it right down the middle.
Well, he didn't really.
But I'm glad Riddle got the victory because after Clash at the Castle, I thought if these two face off again in any type of match, Riddle's going to win it.
Yeah, I mean, Messer, you're right. He didn't have to do a whole lot, but still, he was like the perfect person to put in there because it's like, it's like don't focus on me, focus on him. Don't touch me again.
Oh, that was awesome when he put Seth against Cage and said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Focus on him, not on me. Don't touch me again.
Right.
It's like that was really cool. And so, mess around your overall final grade for the fight pit match.
I'll give it an A. It was a good solid match. I'll give it an A.
All right, Crispy.
A.
Christy.
A plus.
A plus.
Loved it.
And I'll go with that A plus because it was definitely for me was a good match. Now we get to the very end, which I will tell you, they swerved me a little bit because I will tell you for just a few seconds. Well, Chris, the reason why I'm saying they swerved me for a minute here, the reason why I was upset for just a split second was because
me too.
Cole was like, thanks everybody for watching the pay-per-view tonight, and then it comes up as copyright at the bottom of the screen. And I was like, dude, they're really gonna do this. I was like, dang it. I was so hoping. And then lights go black, and then you hear he's got the whole world in his hands. And I'm like, yes. I was like,
finally.
Yes, it's finally here. And then it shows all of his puppets and everything, like life-wise, and I was like, dude, that was cool. And then the second swerve was when you see the Fiend standing in the front row, and you're like, oh, he's coming back as the Fiend. And then it goes black, and then you're like, oh, he's not coming back as the Fiend. You're like, oh my gosh.
What a tease.
So, I'll definitely tell you that was the pop, amazing. Okay. One of the best returns I have ever seen. That return was just
I agree.
completely spot on. It was great. His
It was
mask,
unique.
the mask was cool. I love the mask portion. Now
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be his new mask. I don't know if that was just like a one-time thing that he was going to wear just to come out to kind of reveal himself or
Mhm.
whatever it was. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and I'm curious, and I'm really curious what his entrance music is going to be.
Ooh.
I
Well,
wonder
they
if
kind
that's
of
what
had
it's
the
going to be.
Mm.
well, they kind of had the tease of like when he was with the Wyatt family. They
Hmm.
kind of showed the quick screen and then blacked out.
Yeah,
Yep. I remember
yeah.
that.
So Thomas saying the crowd was electric for the return.
Oh,
Will
yeah.
saying
Yeah.
best return ever. Oh, absolutely. Will, I definitely agree with you 100%. That was probably the best return I have ever seen.
I mean,
I-
like I was saying, like I was watching this, right? And I was with you, like, oh, it's over. The copyright's up and everything. Okay, it show's over. And then, first of all, I have to tell you, I'm watching this, right? And I'm watching the final
Yeah.
match, fight bitch match. And it cuts off, the stream stops, so I had to restart it. And I'm fast forwarding to catch back up. And I went too far. And the logo Bray Wyatt thing pops up, and my son's like, spoiler alert. So I knew he was coming back before the match was over because of that. But still, even knowing that, the pop that he got, I couldn't hear what they were saying. I'm like, Dave, what are they saying? He's like, they're saying we got the whole world. I'm like, oh shit, that's Bray. And it was so cool, even though like I spoiled it from fast forwarding
Yeah.
stuff. It was so
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, like you really had to break it down down at the end to hear him say I'm here and then blow out the lantern because you had like you couldn't hear anything. It was so freaking loud in that place.
The
I
crowd
couldn't
was
even hear
just
it.
going insane.
Yeah, you
Chris,
could hear the.
what was your thoughts on the return?
Oh man, that was a good return. You had the destroyed Firefly Funhouse too in there. That showed some, I don't know, masked character on there.
Right.
And then like a doorway where it opened and Bray was there. And
Yeah.
if you didn't know it was Bray, I think when he came out with the lantern, I think he kind of figured it was Bray.
Yeah.
But
Well-
the characters were scary, and I think it's somewhere in there's a Brody Lee tribute.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
there was.
glow around the door when he came out. It kind of had that glow around him, like Brody Lee did when he debuted in AEW, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
kinda
the
like
bow,
that.
but it was also the mask that I was
Yeah.
talking about. To
Okay,
where
okay.
the girl that was standing up there, Sister Abigail,
Yeah.
when she was standing up there, she was wearing a mask that Brody Lee wore with the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, him and Rowan.
So
I remember that. Yeah.
A+X Infinity.
yeah, so Thomas Burnett saying A+ times infinity. Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I'm right there with you. It was
Yeah.
freaking great.
The one thing I was gonna say is like when they showed the Fiend and I thought it was a Fiend too, and then I'm thinking there's no way he can come back as a Fiend because I've said it before. Like they really killed him when they had Randy Orton beat him with one RKO. There's no way he can come back as Fiend after that, unless they come back and say, "Oh, that wasn't me. That was Bo dressed up as me as a Fiend."
Yeah. That was the imposter Fiend.
Yeah.
I believe in that Fiend. I'm just kidding.
You must believe in that Fiend.
So, Christy, what was your thoughts on the return of Bray Wyatt?
Well, first of all, I didn't know what the heck I was watching. I thought the pay-per-view was going to end, but when the lights went out, you could hear the crowd rumbling and Michael Cole saying, "Are we still in the air?" And then it goes through everything with the pig, the buzzard, the rabbit, Sister Abigail, the destroyed Firefly Funhouse, the TV going in and out, the doorway with the light coming out, and then Bray himself coming out with his new mask, which kind of reminded me a little bit of the Marvel character Doctor Doom a little bit. And then when he pulls it off, and the whole crowd just literally explodes, and I'm like, staring at the TV, eyes wide, jaw about ready to fall off my face.
I know
Yeah,
that
they
old
showed
promo.
exploding just with him showing his forearm. I mean, they hadn't even shown his face yet, and the crowd was going crazy.
right.
It was so amazing.
So for you, Dutch Martel, however the hell you say your last name,
Right.
You, sir, have no idea what in the hell you're talking about. You might have been in WWE helping your little buddy of Jack Swagger, but when you go on here and you go on your little podcast, you sit there and say it was a dumb mistake for WWE to sign Bray Wyatt because he's not over with the fans.
No, it was a mistake for letting him go.
Yeah, it was a mistake to let
Yeah.
him go, but that was Vince McMahon letting
Obviously,
him go.
obviously, he needs to go back and watch Extreme Rules again because
Well, when
obviously,
you told me that, I said, was he watching it on mute? Did he have the volume down?
He could have.
yeah,
Because clearly he wasn't listening to how the crowd was reacting. Bray comes out, pulls the mask off, and they are literally going crazy. The whole arena, I mean, was loud.
So
Well,
what I
if
want
It
to
was
know is
insane.
Will Polson said he had something to say about this. Will, if you're still there, what was
well,
it?
he said he had a question about it. But I think if you were watching, the time you knew that it was Bray Wyatt that was coming out was when you actually heard he's got the whole world in his hands.
Yep.
That's when you had to know it was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Or
When
if
you hear
the-
that,
or when
you
the
know
lights-
it's him.
Or when the lights came out,
Well, but
Mhm.
they've done that with Lights Out before.
They have.
Yeah. And so
This right here.
Thomas is saying Dirty Dutch has lost his mind. He must think that Vince is still booking. He
That's
must.
probably it.
Because when you're sitting here and telling me, even before this dude debuted, people were like screaming his name forever, trying to get him to come back and talking about him on social media and saying, he's coming back. He's returning at the pay-per-view. And everybody was expecting him to return. And it was even before Extreme Rules. People were expecting him to return. And I'm sitting there going, and you're telling me that's somebody who's not over with the fans when the fans are showing up because they think that you are returning? That kind of means you're over with the fans.
Yeah.
Like, the fans want to see you. That's why they're coming.
Exactly.
And so it's, I don't know, it's Dirty Dutch, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's,
Hunter can rehab the pain.
Here's
Well,
the question.
do you think the actual puppets in the crowd were the old Bray representation or representing the start of the Wyatt Six stable?
so we were
Ooh,
so
good
Will, we
question.
were kind of talking about this a little bit before we came live.
Yeah.
And I personally feel like this is going to be a new part in the Wyatt Six. So that's why from the rumors that are coming around now is that Bo Dallas, his actual brother, is supposed to be returning to the company. Bo Dallas is supposed to be in his stable also. So
There's rumors
and
of
they're
Cross.
supposed to end up coming as the Wyatt Six. So I truly think that this time it's, I believe that. So as the Wyatt Six, Will, if you want predictions for it, Bo Dallas, I believe, is going to be one.
Yep.
Liv Morgan. And the reason why I'm saying Liv Morgan is because I think they're going to get a female involved, and I think Liv is going to be that person.
Well, they have Sister Abigail, so they need someone to be Sister Abigail.
Yeah, and I
I
don't
sent
think
you the link, Will, if you want to come on and talk about it.
so. I don't think it'll be Alexa. I think it'll be Liv Morgan. Yep. So Liv, Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt. That'll be 3, and then for some reason I don't know why people are saying it, but people are saying Rollins, but I don't think it'll be Rollins.
No.
If anything, Karrion Kross. I believe Karrion Kross might be a guy that can join that stable too. He's somebody that can definitely really stand out in a stable. So I think you can put Killer Kross in there, and then I believe, and my final 2, I believe Strowman rejoins, and then I believe that they bring back Eric Rowan, and that's the Wyatt Six.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
The last 2 would. Yeah.
That's my predictions. So, Will, if you want to drop yours in the chat too. Thomas Burnett saying, "I hope Cross isn't part of it, he's better off on his own. So,
I agree with that.
Now, did
I think
you? I know this is not Extreme Rules worthy, but did you see on SmackDown the vignette for Viking Raiders?
No.
They're basically promoting the return, and there's rumored that I can't remember. She was part of Liv Morgan's stable.
Sarah Logan?
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I did hear that Sarah Logan was coming back when
Yeah.
they were the Riot Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Ruby Riot.
Yeah. So Will saying Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas, Joe Gacy. Now I did forget about Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy
Oh, yeah.
could be one. I could definitely take out. See if I had to take out.
see Dexter. I could see Dexter.
I can't. He's too busy torturing the Miz, and people like me are actually enjoying that.
I'll take out Killer Cross and I'll put in Joe Gacy because I do agree with the Joe Gacy part. I do believe that Joe Gacy can be one that can join.
Right.
But I'll stick with my other ones. But he's saying Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, and Kaylee Ray. So
Kaylee Ray.
yeah,
I'm thinking she might wind up becoming the NXT Women's Champion in Halloween Havoc. So she might not be able to join. If she wins the title, that is.
Yeah, but you did see that Braun Breaker and Nikita Lyons were at
Nikita Lyons, yeah, they were both there.
So that could mean that they might be getting called up anytime soon too. So
I can see Braun maybe. Nikita probably not because she's not ready. And she and Zoe Starks have I think a women's tag team match against Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro at Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
That's as far as I know, that is.
Yeah. Well, we're almost at that time. We can kind of give our overall final grades for Extreme Rules, but Will saying I could see Kaylee Ray, Alba Fire, or whatever her name is being different. I could see Dexter Loomis being different.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Dexter Loomis freaks me out.
Yeah, so Breaker and Lyons could have been in the costumes.
Breaker's too big, and I think Nikita is too tall.
Well, the guy who dressed up like Huskus the pig was a big boy.
I'm still gonna think it's Joe Gacy, the Rabbit and the Buzzard. I'm thinking could be Zach Gibson and James Drake, formerly Grizzled Young Veterans. They're in a cult-like storyline with Joe Gacy on NXT.
However, what caught everybody off guard too, what really caught me off guard, and I just thought about this too. Sister Abigail, when she was standing there, did you see what was sitting next to her?
No.
So what was sitting next to her, and I didn't even think about this. So there was so Alexa has been the SmackDown Women's Champ and the Raw Women's Champ. And sitting next to Sister Abigail on the wall that was sitting right next to her, laying across it, was 2 belts. And one was the SmackDown Women's Championship and the Raw Women's Championship.
I don't know.
And so I was sitting there going, so I'm like, is that really a hint? Is that really a hint saying that Alexa's coming back? Like, is Alexa coming back to join Bray Wyatt?
Abigail costume looked kind of tall to me, and Alexa's like small. She's like 5'1".
But
this gal looked like she was maybe 5 to 6 inches taller.
But did you see?
But that's just what I noticed.
Did you see what she tweeted though?
Hello, old friend.
Yeah.
Hello, old friend.
You watch the Masked Singer. Some of those masks are really big, and they're really taller than the head of the person. So that could have been it too, to make it look taller.
Maybe Sister Abigail could be Sasha.
I don't. I've heard it could be former NXT UK wrestler Isla Dawn could have been the one in the Sister Abigail costume, but that's just what I heard. You take
we need Nick Cannon. We need Nick
Cannon. we could technically go on all night about.
Oh yeah, all
But-
night about all this. It's
Yeah,
pure
right. So,
speculation at this point.
but we gotta wrap it up here. So mess around. If you forgot, just give your overall grade and then your final thoughts.
My final grade for the Bray Wyatt thing was for the whole thing overall.
For the whole thing,
For the whole Extreme Rules, I give it an A+.
Okay.
Start to finish, there wasn't a match that I didn't like that I was like, oh, it's time for a bathroom break. I can get one in right now because this match is dumb. There was none of that. So I give it an A+ overall.
All right, Crispy.
A+. It was a good match. It was a good card. Good reveal and good pay-per-view.
And Christy.
A+, best pay-per-view of the year for WWE. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because everything all around, maybe with one or two exceptions, this was overall really a terrific pay-per-view. And I really, really enjoyed it.
So yeah, this was definitely a great pay-per-view. It was an A+, so I'll get this final comment here in from Will.
Yes, I love that.
Owen, Loomis face Finn, Priest, and Dom for Rhea. Rhea turns on Judgment Day, becomes Sister Abigail. That would be pretty cool.
It would
So-
be cool. I could see Rhea being a part of
Triple H's
Ray's
savior.
faction of Sister Abigail.
Yep, and
Kinda
Will
fun.
saying Triple H is a savior. Extreme Rules was close to flawless. Absolutely.
Oh,
It
it
was
was.
very close.
It was. That's why I
Pay-per-view
gave the
of
grade I
the
did
year. Pay-per-view of the year so far.
for
That's-
WWE. Absolutely.
That's what I have to say. Pay-per-view of the year. So for everybody who was watching tonight, we definitely want to thank you. It was another fun night. And so next week you can catch us for another episode of Between the Ropes. We actually are kind
Before
of
we get out of here, I'm gonna mention something.
we're gonna be we repackaged it just a little bit, so we're gonna have some newer material coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
But before we hop off here, Mess Around Dave does have one little final announcement here. So Mess Around, you can go ahead and make that final announcement.
So I've been talking to our old friends from Off the Hook Network, and I'm not sure when, but we're gonna have the Wild Thing, Rob Wilds, on here again, and the ladies band Chris Casanova.
Oh, wow.
Stay
Wow,
tuned. I'm not
thanks.
sure when, but probably soon.
Can't make my heart sing.
All right. So with that, thank you everybody for watching, and don't forget, he's got the whole world in his hands. All
He's
right.
got the whole wide world in his hands.
Everybody have a fantastic night, and we will see you next Sunday for another episode of Between the Ropes.